Welcome guys, listen, we're back and today we are answering questions from Instagram. Guys, if you're not following on Instagram, what are you doing, okay? Daily values in the stories, go check it out. Instagram's right here, at Notorious Nico, boom. Let's just jump straight into it. What I essentially do on Instagram is I put up these Q&A, right? And I just answer them in the stories, but I thought I'd jump on here, right? And just answer some of them for you guys on YouTube. Because I don't usually answer, I get a lot of questions, so I don't usually answer every single thing in the stories. But I'm here right now, so I'm going to answer some of the questions. Next time, make sure, I want to see your name in there. Your name. You watching this right now, I want to see your name in here. So we have, first of all, I'm going to, answer these a bit systematically. But first of all, we had Miles with Siams. How old are you? 27. First question, really done. Really easy, right? Then we have San Felix, right? San Felix underscore, is that underscore that means? He asks, how to train for max muscle growth if you can't take supplements? Health problems, right? I'm assuming that by health problems you mean that you can't take supplement because of health issues. So what I would say is that you don't need supplements in order to grow. That's not something, it's not you need to do that. For health issues, I'm curious to what health issues that are keeping you from, using a simple whey protein supplement, because it's basically just, milk. That's what whey is derived from. It's a derivative from milk. So when you have milk and you heat it up and stuff, the fats and stuff, they split. And the white water or the musky water in the between, that's whey. And once you dry that, you get a fine powder, which you know as whey protein. So whey protein isn't some, fancy in the lab done thing. It's a very natural component of milk, right? Milk is nice, Milk is not bad. Milk is good stuff. So you don't need supplements in order to train for max muscle growth, and it completely depends on your health issues. But you need to just keep it simple with this. Eat tons of protein. I made a video the other day. 200 grams of protein. 200 grams of protein. Okay. Really simple, and also training for max muscle growth. I have tons of videos here on this channel about exactly what to do when you're training for muscle growth. There's tons of, you gotta keep it simple. But the one thing, and that goes back to the video I made on the mindset part, is that this stuff you need to go. I think I mentioned it there, but metabolic stress, feeling that burn, super important. Okay, for and getting enough volume in for for muscle growth. Okay. Speed running through this. This is like the Twitter questions. The videos on YouTube where they have all these doctors and celebrities and all these people asking questions and they answer them. Well, hey, you saw a celebrity right here. No, let's go. So Corey Thomas 21 underscore 21. What would you do different if you started content again? If I started content again, one of the reasons why I started content in the first place was to improve my English. Okay, if you go back to my first video where I did my Prime reviews, and actually I took down a couple of videos where I did some business stuff, a couple of videos, just testing and mucking about a bit with it. But I did my Prime reviews. They're still up. You can go check my oldest videos. I think they're hilarious, even though it probably some think they're a bit cringy. I love them. People still come back to me like, where's Twitter takedowns? Where's Twitter takedown, right? So if I started content again, I probably wouldn't do anything differently. Perhaps one thing I would do, but that's kind of the part, since I did this in order to just put my voice out there, share my ideas. What you can do, what I would advise you guys to do, is just stick to one topic. That's usually a really good idea. Just stick to one topic. But to me, I have so much stuff going on in my mind. I just share my values, and I'm not really, it's not really a big deal. I don't want to just turn into a fitness influencer. Okay, I'm me, and if you're here and you're listening, then God bless you. So I wouldn't do that much differently if I started content. Honestly, there's some reels I wouldn't have posted and stuff like that, but it's all part of the process of learning. And I think if you want to do content and do that, you have to be very analytical about what works, what doesn't work. You can't just post anything. And you have to figure out, okay, why? What happened, right? That's fair. You do meetups / mastermind, Emirates Secan 32. Now I messaged back Emirates on Instagram, So if you answer, if you ask a good question, then maybe I'll actually respond to you in DMs and we can have a chat about it, because I'm actually planning on doing one, but I haven't announced it yet. So I will announce it on Instagram. Probably won't announce it here. Maybe I will. We'll see. But yeah, I would love to do something like that. Meetups. If you guys are looking to meet up, maybe meet up with some other killers who are on the same path, and comment down below. I'm very curious to see, like, just as any smart businessman, I do market research, all right? I try to find out what is actually people want. Is this actually something I can, give to people? And that's, I'll take the glass off for this so it actually looks a bit generous. No, but I actually try to find out what people want, and actually try and help them, right? And if I can't help, then it is what it is, right? So that's, if that's something you guys want to see, then comment down below. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Let's put the glasses back on and get back into it. I don't mean to look like a douchebag, right? I probably do though. Ashton Whelan, 24. All right, Ashton, what's your take on the French Foreign Legion? French Foreign Legion. Now listen, I don't think the French Foreign Legion is as elite and cool as everyone else thinks. Probably. Apparently they just take in whomever, and if you take in whomever, you get whatever, right? I don't know about their standards and stuff. I think it's quite decent, but I don't know if their training level is that high. You know who has some of the best training level in the world when it comes to military? And I don't want to sound like one of these operator douchebags on the YouTube, right? With their beard and the tattoos and talking about how they, outed like some, or offed some, farmer in a Dishidasha. I can make it a full other video on this, but I don't want to talk about like that. But one of the highest training standards is actually Norway. We do some of the better nighttime training. I remember we trained with Germans. I know there's some Germans here. Don't get offended. I'm not gonna say it not to offend you guys, but hey, listen, your military. Hey, you need to tighten that up. Okay, get back into the discipline. Let me tell you, French Foreign Legion probably the same. Just put slacking here and there, but who really knows? I'd love to join though. Wouldn't that be cool? Notorious X French Foreign Legion collaboration. I saw this climber guy, Magnus Midtbø. He's from Norway too. He did like a thing with them. That would be cool to do. Maybe I should start doing that. More military stuff. Going, spending $72 with this and that and this and that. Like these YouTubers. It's funny to me because a lot of these YouTubers, they're doing these military challenges, but they come off as complete pussies, right? I don't know why. But it would be cool to actually see someone, destroy the challenges. But right now, I'm, speaking complete garbage. It's difficult. I know this stuff is difficult, and I know it because I went through a lot of it. So that's kind of a rant on that. Luke Batchford. To build a mindset of steel is military a must. What is the other options? I will answer this on Instagram, and I'm going to repeat myself. But you don't need to go to the military to build a bulletproof mindset. You don't need to. But what the military does is it allows you to be in basically a playground. That's what we actually joke with it too, because in the military we count by weeks, like week 1, week 2, week 3, and the only place to do that is kindergarten, right? So the military is a big playground for you to actually self-develop, and it's not like you being in the military, someone being in the military automatically makes them hard to kill, right? What's going on in here? Can you guys hear this? It's almost hollow. No, but it doesn't mean that they're automatically hard to kill. But it's just you get to realize that some of the stuff that you're going through in life, it's not that important. It's not that big of a deal. Because when you've been out in the shit, when you've been in the rain, when it's snowing, freezing, when you're trying to put on the boots, true story, when you're trying to put on the boots and they're frozen, so you have to like hammer them on with a stick, right? Then you realize that some of these issues that pop up in daily life that might be plaguing your mindset, it's not that big of a deal, right? So I'm saying to you guys what I said to him in Israel story. Go put yourself in most difficult situations you can, okay? Go put yourself in situations where you're cold, you're freezing, where stuff is uncomfortable. Waking up, going for runs. And it's not about the distance when it comes to this stuff. It's not about the total input. It's just about showing up usually, okay? So think of that. Start really small and build up. Mindset is like a muscle, okay? It's like a muscle, just as like a muscle. And you have to build it from ground up. You don't start with, 315 on the bar. You build up, right? Not Scorpius. Best way to reserve energy during marathons, okay? This is a big one. Big point. Okay, to preserve energy, and it's not just marathons, because it depends on what a distance that is challenging to you in terms of, okay, what's a certain distance. I'm gonna say that again. It depends on what's the distance where you actually need to preserve energy for you. For marathons, for me, it's not that much about preserving energy. That's more of that kind of intensity sense of like, okay, I can hold a certain pace for a long time, because I can hold quite a decent pace for a whole marathon. But like for an ultra, for me, I would have to implement some strategies in order to actually go on to survive over longer time. Now this might be different to you. Maybe that's 20. What a 100K is to me might be what a 20K is to you. Completely fair. We all in different areas. What is 100K to me is someone else's 700K. I'm not perfect. I'm not the greatest. But hey, I got some lessons for you. When it comes to preserving energy during longer distance races, you gotta be disciplined. You gotta stay in routine. This is why I preach this stuff so heavily, because this starts as a very small level. Okay, when you doing stuff on a run, you lock in at a certain pace. This is what you do. You lock in at a certain pace, because what happens? You don't want to go up and down, because now you become like an accordion. Boom, 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 and that drains your energy. If you're just speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, that drains your energy. You want to keep a consistent pace. Okay, that's one thing. And so, what you also want to do, because we did a New Year's 25-kilometer run here in Bangkok, me and some of the guys, it was very fun. I taught them a lot of lessons about how to do this. You gotta make checkpoints for everything. Nothing happens unless it's checked off on like a checkpoint. Okay, if you want to take your shoes off and remove a stone, you have to go to a checkpoint. Okay. It doesn't have to be far in the future. It can be like, okay, I'm gonna cross that bush over there. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take my shoe off. But don't stop on the spot and take your shoe off. Don't stop on the spot and drink water or refill water. Don't just stop. Okay, there needs to be a certain goal in mind in order for you to stop. In order for you to earn that stop. So it's not like. Because the other thing is like refill water when you can, drink when you can, drink often. That's also key to preserving energy. If you get dehydrated, you're gonna, boom, you're dead, right? So you want to do that. You want to refill when you can. But I told this to the guys too when we were doing a run. Is that we're coming in, right? We're coming in, and here's the water station. It's just right here. It's just right here. And it's very easy to just start walking here. Okay, I'm gonna go to a water station. No. That's not how I do it. We see the trash can or the lamppost at the other side of the water station, and we set a goal in our mind. Okay, when we pass that lamppost, we don't stop running. We don't stop running until we're past that. When we're past that, then boom, walk. Then it's water. Okay, water. Okay, maybe we have a certain time. Okay, I have 30 seconds to refill this water. When that's done, okay, we can start walking. And then we see a bush. Okay, when I cross that bush, we start running in. Boom! Back into pace. Back into everything. Routine, everything. Okay? That's how we do it. And you do that for every single little thing you do. Okay? Everything. If you want to pee, you gotta look, to checkpoints. Okay? Checkpoint. Create them in the mind. It can also be time. When this time hits 1:12:30, for example, whatever the time is, I'm gonna do this. Very simple. But you gotta stay disciplined on stuff. There's tons of other... if you need help with your performance at events like this, check out the link. I put the link down here, or you can just DM me on Instagram, Superhero. Okay, I help people perform better. I was just in Oman helping my friend Dave Cantave with his Ultramarathon. I have a big vlog probably that's coming out on that. We'll see. But yeah, I help people with events and also with their fitness, nutrition, all the general stuff. But really get people to a high level. So, if that's something you need help with, DM me the word Superhero on Instagram. Now, Daver. If you had to choose, join police special forces or military special forces, and why? Honestly, I don't know. And I'm not going to talk about out of my ass here on this video. And I never do that either. And if I ever am, you guys will notice, or I will just tell you. But right now, I'm not sure. Okay? But I would encourage anyone to join the military. Like I mentioned, the best area for self-development that you can find. But what I know from Norway and how it works there is that you have to become a police officer before you can even and you have to go through like police training and all these years of doing that before you can even join the special forces of the police, right? The Delta unit, as it's called. And who the fuck would want to do that just in order to go to, you know, Delta, right? Who the fuck would want to be a policeman who ruins people's day with your speeding tickets and stuff, right? I've never understood it. It's not really my thing to go and dish out tickets to moms who are, you know, late for work or this and that. Not my thing, okay? So I would do the military thing because it's very simple to go from, you know, starting point to SF, and you want to get SF, okay? You don't want to be anything else. You want to be SF, guys. If you're gonna do something, go hard, okay? And you should, you know, aim for the biggest thing that's out there, and that's special forces. Favorite Glock pistol, guys. Can you see this? Can you see this? Well, I'll restart it here again. Look at this. No, that's not it. That's a thank you note. There we go. Look at that! Look at that! Boom! 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 And one more. Bullseye! Now we're talking. That's me, you know, shooting my... The question was, what's your favorite Glock pistol? My favorite Glock pistol is Glock 17. That's what I was issued. And we had it... we used grip tape on it. We also had a light under it so we could, you know, pull and we can use a light. You know, so you can search hatches and stuff like that. But use some grip tape on it and you're good to go, you know. It's not always about the tool, it's about who uses it, okay? And with that in mind, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out the Instagram, okay? Q&As, all the good stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Take care. Zoom, zoom. And God bless. Boom!